Capital Territory, His Excellency Nyesom Wike. It's our first meeting with him this year, and so we have a lot to talk about, which means we are also meeting him for the first time this year. I guess it's not too late to say Happy New Year to the Honorable Minister.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, sir.
To all of you.
My name is Benga Aruleba. I work with Africa Independent Television, AIT, and my colleagues are also here with me. To my immediate right is my colleague from TVC News. And of course, sitting next to him is my colleague from News Central.
News Central Television.
Sambo is from Arise Television, joining us for the very first time on this channel.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
And of course, on the other side of the aisle, the only lady in our midst, joining us for the first time too on this panel. The channels, okay.
Maybe not the first time. Gloria Omezeke.
Gloria is of Channels News. And of course, next to Gloria is my colleague from NTA. And of course, my colleague from ADBN.
Well, Happy New Year, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much.
All right, Excellency, good to see you again. Happy New Year, like we said.
Same to you.
Last year ended on a high. While people were at home enjoying Christmas and New Year, we saw you still going around inspecting projects and all of that. It's like you didn't have any Christmas and New Year break. Of course, we know the reason because we hear some projects are ready for commission. But let's start from there. Where do you derive this boundless energy of yours?
Well, first of all, let me thank you and your colleagues. I wish you very good New Year. By the grace of God, we believe that this year will be better than 2024. First of all, life is given by God. And I thank God that all of us are alive to see this year, 2025. You have asked, where do I derive the energy from? For me, I believe that God, in infinite mercy, is the one that gives one the health, the good health, for you to be able to carry out whatever assignment that you are given. So I give God the glory that one is in good health and to be able to perform the functions you're expected to. There's no magic about it. If God does not give you the good health, you cannot do anything. So the energy I derive is because God has given me that good health. And when you have good health, you have the energy to do whatever you're supposed to do. If you also said about, last year I was expecting, I did not do Christmas. And I've always told people that Christmas is not 1 month, 2 months, 2 weeks, 1 week. Christmas, as far as I'm concerned, there's no public holiday given that throughout these 2 weeks there will be public holiday. No. Public holidays are normally declared. First of all, the Good Friday, the day that Good Friday, no, on the birth of Christ, and then 26. Good Friday has to do before the death and the resurrection of Christ. So that is that period, so that I don't mix up. But Christmas is the date of birth of Christ, and then the next day is the Boxing Day, which is 26. So holidays are declared by the government. For 27, if you do not fall on a weekend, you're expected to work. 28, you're expected to work if you do not fall on a weekend. So when people talk about, you're supposed to be enjoying your Christmas, federal government never declared public holiday from the 25th till the end of the year. So you're expected to work. So for us, we are working to see that our expectations, to see that our mandates are met. When you are given a target, I take for example, if you remember, we came in on August 2023. And in that August, we had a supplementary budget that the National Assembly approved. And money was approved for construction of rural roads. But in February 2024, it came to materialize where these contracts were awarded and we had to flag it off. Remember, so many people had criticized government of only paying attention to the city and not the satellite towns. Every time you hear, yes, we agree, roads are being done in the cities, but what's happening in the satellite towns? And all I said, you just calm down, we just keep. Government, through the mercy of Mr. President, which is the Need Hope agenda, he has said, look, the same way we are carrying out development will also be the same way it will be done in satellite town. You know, Nigerians, very difficult. You cannot, oh, that's not correct. They only play the politics. I say you just wait and see. And I did tell people that, look, we have flagged all these projects in February. These projects will be completed in December. And to the glory of God, I made sure the contractors have to fulfill their own promise that we will hand over these projects to you by December. And that's okay. On our own part, we're going to make sure that money or payment will not be a problem. And we did that. And these contractors fulfill their promise and handed over these projects to us in December. I was okay. By the time we resume January, we'll make sure that we'll let the world know the promise we made, the Need Hope agenda made promise that look, we're going to do this, we're going to carry development to the satellite towns. The 6 area councils, not choosing one, the 6 area councils, Amak, Kuje, Buhari, Gwagwalada, Abaji, and Kwali, all. No one is left out. So, that's what we're trying to let you know, that we, by Mr. President Renewal agenda, that hope has come back to the rural area, to the satellite towns. They never believed that they can have impact, they can have the feeling of government. But today, is this true? Can this be true? We're hearing about government in the federal capital territory. So it has come to us. And we must, you know, if you don't let people know, nobody will know. Now we say, okay, we made this promise. The government of Tinubu made this promise. And now he's been able to fulfill the promises he has made. So tomorrow, we want to start Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Then next week, we'll complete. Then after next week, we'll now come back to flagging of other projects in the satellite towns.
Your Excellency, you seem to, Honorable Minister, you seem to be very, very heavy on infrastructural development, and a lot of people have been talking about human capital development. That it's not about roads, it's not about the heavy things you've been doing. That what do you have in mind for the unemployed youths of this?
You know the problem I have with all of us. You do this, oh, people are complaining that you're only doing that. You do this, oh, people are saying that, what about the other area? First of all, what does the economy of any country? What are the economy?
Infrastructure.
Infrastructure. So if you want the economy to grow, well, what do you do first? To grow the infrastructure. Now when you have done that, How do we not face human capital development? And we need what's human capital development. You're talking about only these jobs that are going on. Are they not being employed? These jobs that are going on, you talking about...
Tell us how they've been affected directly.
I'm coming. Take for example, you have a job going on in Kwale, not less than 100, 200 persons have been employed. You have a job going on in Kuje, not less than 200 people are employed. You have a job going on in Gwagwalada, not less than 200 people have been employed, just like that. Who are these people being employed? The youths and other people. The mistake we always think or make is that employment is only when you're employed in the government ministries and the rest. That's only where I see all of us, employment. Look at the kind of jobs we're creating. If you calculate the number of infrastructure going on in this city today, and then look at the number of people that have been employed, then you can now say, really, we have such number of persons that have been employed by this, or employment have been created by this administration.
Your Excellency, it seems the FCT administration has raised the bar in road construction and infrastructure. We have gone around looking at some of these projects that you flagged off the construction several months ago. The Buhari Road, the Law School, Saburi 1, Saburi 2, Paikon, Kore, the Market Road at Gwagwalada, and as we speak, they have all been completed. Most of them, those that have not been completed are at 90-something%. And in those flag offs, you stated clearly that these roads will match the standard in any part of the world, and we have seen it. But the problem is that since there is a communication gap, because just like the Paikon Kore Road, the Gwagwalada Market Road, which you promised that there will be street lights, the contractors are saying that it was not in their contractual agreement. Is there a breach of communication, or there is a change of there was a change in the actual plan and design by the administration?
I don't think you got the correct information. I will give you the correct information. First of all, these 6 roads we are commissioning now, there was no provision of street lights. These 6 roads we are commissioning now, there are no provision for street light. Now, but before their completion, we now say, look, you have to include street lights. And then I say, yes, but that will take us some time. But if you go to Kwale, street light have been provided. Kuje, street light have been provided. Now, but the new ones we are awarded, we flagged up, like A2 to Pi to Goma, the street light is in that contract. All other roads we recently flagged off, street light is included. But the one we flagged off as of last year, which we are now trying to commission for tomorrow, there are no street lights in that contract. However, before they were completed, we said you have to add street lights. And some of us said, look, yes, we have agreed, but we cannot complete it before that commissioning. But some said we can. And just like in Kwale and Kuje, which Gilmore did, it has been added and it's going to be part of the commission. So that we have to, get it clear that the one that we flagged on in February last year, there was no street light provided in that contract. But before the completion, we said no, we should have. Yes, in the rural areas, let us also give them street light. Now these ones we just flagged up this last year. That is November, December last year. Yes, the last quarter of last year. All the roads, there are street lights provided in it. And that I believe, by the grace of God, by May, June this year, all those roads would have been completed with the street lights.
But the worry is not just about street lights, it's keeping the lights on. Because we see street lights in maybe new street lights being erected, but the streets are dark. Most streets are dark. How do you keep the lights on?
That first of all, when you say most streets are dark, first of all, we use solar. But you're also doing that. You know what we have just faced recently? Vandalism. People coming to vandalize the projects, steal the cables and the rest of them. And I can assure you and I can tell you to the glory of God, we're on top of the game. We're going to deal with those who have been caught. You see, the policing of communities is not only for security agencies, it's only for all of us to be part of it. Some of us will say, oh, you will see somebody stealing cable. You see somebody tampering with solar, you won't say anything. You won't report to the police. You say, what is my business? Then when it is dark, you come and say, oh, government is doing nothing. But you yourself too, have you played the role you are supposed to play? By reporting to the security agencies, to the appropriate authorities. That's you. I was passing this area. See what I'm seeing. Look at what just happened recently about stealing of the manholes and the cables. Look at yesterday. They went vandalized, stole the cables for over 60% of our Abuja to be dark. Sabotage. No problem. But by the grace of God, the security agencies are on top of the world. We have arrested so many of them, and I can tell you, all those that are involved will never come out of it. Will never come out, and people will learn lessons from it. You know, we always believe that it doesn't matter. By the time, you know, they charge us to court, they will give us bail of 50,000 naira, we'll go and pay. We won't charge you on stealing. We'll charge you economic sabotage. Enough is enough. Nobody will take this. Nobody who believes, who actually loves his country, will accept what is going on. Government will make efforts to make you comfortable, to make you happy, to provide the necessary infrastructure. Then you see people who say, no, this government is doing well. Let us sabotage them. And we owe a duty to say, look, should we accept this? Government spends money, taxpayers' money, to make you comfortable, to provide the necessary infrastructure. And some people will go back and say, look, oh, why do we allow this government to be having a good name? Let us sabotage them. No problem. You are sabotaging. You know, there is adage in my place. Every day is for the thief man. One day is for the owner of the house. They have been doing that. Now most of them have been caught. And that's the end of them.
Right. But some of them are doing so not purely to sabotage government because of economic instincts, you know, just how to survive.
No, I would never accept that. I would never accept that. And we must stop selling this theory. We must stop selling this theory. Okay. It's so fine if you say that I'm doing this to survive. Take for example, we bought vehicles for use to enable them a form of empowerment to see what they can do for themselves in life. As I speak to you today, do you know what has happened? We have this, every time we give these excuses, it's because economic hardship. It's not correct. It's not correct. How much do they make? Some people sponsor them. Go and do this. Bring it to the buy. Those who send them, is it because of economic hardship?
Right, Excellency, isn't it because we have a policing problem? Because, for example, the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps was created to actually tackle issues of vandalism like this. And then, I'm just back from Rwanda, for example. You walk every 100 kilometers, there's a sign of policing, local, city-level policing. Do you think it's time to introduce city policing? Let's not say state policing, because I mean that may evoke some sense of political arguments here and there. City policing for a city like Abuja. And then secondly, I've seen you visiting together with my former minority leader, Senator Aduda, visiting the Outer Southern Expressway from Apo to Waru to Karoshi. Now that road has been there since the time of former FCT Minister Bala Mohammed. I mean, who's your very good friend, though you are different political balance.
No, my good friend.
Right from 2013, that project has been ongoing. FCT residents are tired of promises by previous administration, but you have shown some sense of renewed hope that that project could come to fruition under your administration. Should we take you by your words?
Now, let's start with the first one you said, Rwanda. You know, we make comparisons. What system does Rwanda run? If Mr. President says he will do that, most of you here, you will take your pen and write all kinds of things. When we're making comparison, we don't even ask, what system does this country run or operate? In Nigeria, what system do we run? When you say Abuja, is Abuja different from Nigeria? Does Abuja have its own different system? When you talk about police, people have been recommending community policing. People have been talking about state police. People have been saying no. Knowing where we are from, if you allow that, so many people will not come out from their houses. Sometimes say, no, yes, we agree, but let us try it first and see how it works. Some people say, you don't need to try, we have seen it. That if the allow state policing today, nobody will oppose any governor. It is either you will die for murder or for armed robbery. So our institutions are not such that are independent.
Are you saying this because you are no longer...
No,
We still have people on this side who have not asked questions.
That's the problem. You don't need to personalize it. And that's the problem that we're having. The mere fact that, yes, I did not support, or I supported police, state police. If I was wrong, I was wrong. If I was right, I was right. What we're saying is that our institution is strong to be independent of manipulation by the system. You see what is happening? Okay, now you say community policing. You go and say United States of America. You see the wrong thing that we always have comparison. Institutions are built strong. Nobody bothers whether American president is there or not. This will go on. You are there, they were a former president, charging him for all this and this and that. How many people can charge a former president in this country for such crime? If you will see ethnicity, if you will not see religion, if you will not see all kinds of things. So you have to be careful. Again, you talk about the road that since the governor of Bauchi when he was minister. Today, go from Yanya to Karu, to Rozo, to Karachi, to Apo. I can assure you, by the grace of God, by the end of this May, that road is completed. Go and see what was on. Today, go and see from Duse area. Go and see what has happened there. I have totally rehabilitated when I'm going to law school, that road, and putting street lights in that road. When anything I know is not going to work, anything I know I'm not going to participate in, I will not do it. If I tell you I'm going to do this, you go home and sleep with your two eyes closed, that this will be done. So I've always said, let us not do things on, okay, you, when you were governor, this was what you were saying. You, when you were a minister, this is what you are saying. For Christ's sake, the mere fact you believed, I believed, does it mean it is right? No. We should not continue with this kind of attitude. And this is what happened. Okay, you, at the time when we were governor, what was your view? So what? If I had this view yesterday, does it mean that view, I must continue to have it? But I can tell you today, when they are doing about National Economic Council, when they said, submit the views of FCT as for example to state policy, I said, listen, it doesn't make sense to me.
Now, Your Excellency, quite giant strides you have been making here within the FCT. Kudos to you, I must say. Now, there's something I want you to address. Sometime late last year, a video went viral of you knocking the AMAC chairman for citing his inability to provide security vehicles for, the Abuja Municipal Area Council. Now, that was a very big issue in the news, and still in line with security matters, especially in area councils within the FCT. Are there specific goals or targets that you have set out for the Area Council Chairmen to meet with regards to ensuring the security of lives and property of people in these area councils and other targets as well? Do you care to let us know on that?
I don't need to set out goals for them. They campaigned that they want to be chairman of area councils. They were not appointed. The federal government never appointed them. They went out on their own, campaigning to the people, campaigning to AMAC people, campaigning to PJ people, campaigning to Gwagwalada, campaigning to Abuja, campaigning to Kwali, and the rest of them. Vote for me. I want to be chairman. If you vote for me, this is what I'm going to do. They were not appointed. So why would I go and set goals for them? Why would I go and set targets for them? We should be running a federal system. They are not appointed. Now, if they cannot achieve based on the promises they have made to the people should patrol the ballot to say, listen, you promise us this, you promise us that. Therefore, we cannot.
But Your Excellency...
I'm coming to you ask a question about the chairman of AMAC.
Yes, certainly.
Now, and it was embarrassing to me. I was council chairman in 1999, and everybody will know, as chairman, my performance. It is not a dispute before I became the national president of Abuja. I cannot believe that the council chairman can come out to say that he is unable to buy security vehicle for security agencies in his area council, even when the allocation have gone higher, unlike before. For Christ's sake, I was building police stations. I was providing everything, vehicles, logistics for police station when I was council chairman. So for me to hear, not it was a story, live television, a council chairman, in fact in the municipality, to say he's unable to buy security vehicle. And you want me to be happy? And I said, okay, if you say so, then what's the capacity? Then what will you tell people? Tomorrow you want to come out before your people, vote for me, for this. If you cannot provide ordinary security vehicle for security agencies, then what can you do? So I have to say, look, it is unexpected. I can't believe you should say this. Even if you do, yeah, I mean, there are things you shouldn't say. You shouldn't say it out, because it's very embarrassing.
But let's stay with security a little bit, Honorable Minister. You mentioned, the challenges you had in curbing this menace, especially in local, municipal areas, areas that are close to the border of the FCT with other states, where some of these, outlaws come to perpetrate, some of their devilry and then go back to other states. Where are we on that in terms of some of your collaboration with other states, especially in areas bordering those states? And then secondly, on the issue of infrastructure, the rail, we were on it, free rides and all that. But in terms of the volume of people it takes and the expectations economically on it, where are we and what reports are you getting from it? And then moving on a little bit, are we going to get more in terms of another perhaps route using the rail as a kind of panacea to our transport issues?
Now let me see. I always like to be realistic and not to make things too difficult. I want to take it so that the audience, those who are listening, will be able to appreciate and know this is where we are, this is where we're heading to, what we are expected to be. Let me take from the last time. If I forget anyone, please do remind me, because I'm not jotting it down. I'm not going to start any construction of any new rail line. No, we don't have that fund. You see, I'm a very objective person. Very objective. I don't want to do something for the purpose that let's do that. Oh, we are awarded the construction of a new rail line. Yes, very good. How do you fund it? Where do we get the money from? FCT money, 1% of what the federal government gets. If federal government gets 1 trillion today, for example, this month, 1% of 1 trillion is how much? Yeah.
Like 100 billion.
100 what?
1 billion.
So you're not good in mathematics.
1 billion.
1% of it.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So you see, tomorrow you go to television, how we are not good in math. You don't even know the simple mathematics here.
It's 10 billion.
Well, we don't
10 billion naira.
Excellency, we don't spend billions. We are journalists.
10 billion.
No, you 10 billion naira.
10 billion, okay.
10 billion naira.
Wow.
That's small.
Now, where do you fall back to? Where do you fall back to?
Loans. IGR.
IGR.
Yes.
What are the sources for IGR? As far as FCT is concerned.
Land. That's the major source.
Taxes.
Taxes.
Part of the taxes is what? Ground rent. Payment of CFO. Right? Right? How many people pay? You want me to go and do construction of a new rail line that will cost you almost $1 billion. How much? Convert it to a naira.
That's about 1.7 trillion.
Convert to a naira. Well, but no, I'm coming. Because it is good for people to understand this. Now we are saying, look, you're not even paying the ground rent. You're not even paying for the CFO. You come out to tell Nigerians, why not pay? How much is ground rent? It's not a monthly payment. It's a yearly payment. 200,000 naira, 300,000 naira, 500,000 naira. Annually, not monthly. Annually. For CFO, once. Depending on the size of the property or the land you have. Maybe you may have 8,000 square meters. And your CFO will say, you will pay 2.something million. That 2.something million is not paid monthly, year is once. How many people pay? And you come up to citizen. You want this road. You want new rail line now.
I'm just asking.
No, you want.
Yes.
No, I'm coming.
Yes.
You are speaking on behalf of the people.
You want. What I mean you, not you as a person, but you in plural, that the people. Right? Now, where do we get this money? We should go to bank to borrow. Fine. We are going to bank A to borrow. Bank A will say, okay, what's the collateral? How much are you going to pay us monthly or yearly? How do you get it? Therefore, I'm not going to be part of that. I want it. It's true. But if federal government can fund it, good for us. But to say FCT on its own, to go and fund such, it's not going to work. And that is the truth. Now, I don't know the second question you asked.
We're talking about security. And,
now you talk about security. You know, we must commend security agencies in this FCT. What we know, if you know, every day you kneel down praying for the security agencies, what they have done and what they're doing. You only hear, oh, somebody was attacked yesterday, but you don't hear how many people were stopped from being attacked. You don't. Oh, somebody was attacked. Nobody is happy about that. But they have stopped about 50 attacks. You don't commend them. Because they don't come to say, we have stopped this and this and that. As I speak to you today, you and I know what it used to be is not what it is today. We have taken steps. We are building now to enhance security. In the 6 area councils, we are building 12 new police stations to beef up security in all these area councils. For the first time in FCT, we are paid for acquiring drones as part of enhancing security in FCT. It has never happened before. As I speak today, we are building the command control center where all the security is at a joint platform. All the security agencies are one. Where we have a system where if anything happens anywhere, the command control will know immediately and take actions.
Even when the city is not under camera surveillance? How do they do that?
No, that is different. That is different. In terms of camera surveillance, you know that this is the seat of maybe the presidency. And the FCT cannot on its own do that. You need to work together with the National Security Advisor. You need to work together with the security SSS. And you need to go with the police.
So what's stopping you?
No, exactly. You cannot be allowed to provide cameras within the city when the president resides.
Yeah, but you
listen. Listen.
Security votes based on some of these issues.
No, you see, what you don't know, you don't know. When you hear security vote, FCT is Federal Capital Territory that houses virtually the president, the vice president, everybody. You cannot on your own. It's not what I'm saying. We're not operating a full federal system. Mind you, to FCT is not like fully as a state as supposed to be.
But the courts have ruled
why
that
not wait? No, you only so that's why in your station you carry wrong stories. What the Supreme Court interpreted FCT as a state is by election. They have the same status in election. After FCT is not a member of FAC. FCT does not collect from the federal allocation. We only take from what the federal government takes a 1%. So that when you are saying Supreme Court has interpreted, give the proper interpretation. And that's when I see what you will do in your station, I said, where are these people coming from? Where are they getting that political interpretation that for the purposes of this election, FCT is seen as a state does not mean per se that FCT is as a state collecting money from the federation account.
Yeah.
You must say you have to sit down.
Excellency, the Constitution says that Mr. President is the governor of FCT, Section 299, and we can see you also enjoying some of those powers. I mean, which FCT minister goes around with bags?
Why not listen?
Exercising the powers of the
why
governor.
not listen? That's why you misinform people. You see, you have quoted, Mr. President is the governor. We have agreed. He's the governor of what? FCT. In quote, governor. As a state, if actually it's a state, can you have a president at the same time as a governor? No, Mr. Rice. Mr. Rice, educate the people.
Yes.
The point we are making, Mr. President is governor who oversees the federal capital territory. But the federal capital territory is not a state as per state in the sense that you can take allocation from the federation account. But you can, for whatever that comes to the federal government, you take 1% of that. Right? Now, so if you begin to see that, it is difficult. But if you are saying for political reasons, whether FCT should be seen as a state in terms of what percentage you should have to make you be victorious, say 2/3 or 1/3, as the case may be, FCT is counted as a state.
Well, Honorable Minister, perhaps the point you need to make, sir,
yes,
is what you were making before you debated, which is for the city to be under the security surveillance. How do you intend to remove or address those obstacles that you have pointed out? Because the president himself is also one of the institutions that will be protected.
He's a resident of the FCT.
Why not just take it? After, before we came here, before we came on board, it was said that this CCTV was awarded, that were handled by police and this and that, FCT. And we said the FCT was not a party to it. Right? 2, the security agencies are working out how it will be convenient and how it will be feasible to provide CCTV in all the areas. Mind you, it is capital intensive. And therefore, it requires the national budget and the statutory budget. What I mean by, most of you may not know, FCT has 2 budgets. One is national budget, which is the contribution of federal government to the development of FCT. The statutory budget is the IGR being raised by FCT on how to carry out their own development plans. Last year, what we got, or what we provided for FCT, was 17 billion for national budget. 17 billion.
Trucks, yeah.
Last year, when you say through, I said last year, the budget was 17 billion. 2024.
How did you manage your Excellency?
Continue to say God will thank you. Now, when you see what we are doing, you say, how did you come about it?
Yes, where's the money coming from?
Because we were very, very, very prudent in terms of our IGL. Not only that, because Mr. President is wisdom, who sits governors in terms of business, they must succeed. Put us out of the single treasury account. What does that mean? If Mr. President did not put us out from that, it would have been difficult for any project or projects that we're implementing or we have completed. Why? We're not part of financial market. We have no access to go to bank to look for loan. We cannot. Because if you go to bank, they say, okay, what's the collateral? The money is everything they pay is in central bank. So I told Mr. President, then it means we cannot do anything. And Mr. President is wisdom and being very somebody who will say, look, I want success. I want to make sure that we succeed in what we're doing. How do you succeed? Pull yours out. Go to commercial bank, ask for loan, So okay, I had my IGR as my collateral. How much am I seeking from this commercial bank? I'm looking for 200 million, for example. We'll give you. Now, domicile your IGR with us, right? How much are we going to be paying monthly? We'll be paying such amount of money. Now, you have 200 billion to spend in the project. And why the bank has no problem in collecting every month such amount of money. But if we were that single treasury account, forget it.
Now, Your Excellency,
of the President, Your Excellency, a recent video went viral where the President, commended your incredible strides within the FCT and even citing that he had doffed his hat for you. What was your reaction to that? How did you feel? And would you describe it as one of your most defining moments as an FCT minister?
Ask yourself this question. Your boss says he's very happy with what you're doing. How do you feel?
Certainly happy.
So the question is, if your boss, I'm coming. Yeah. If your boss said, look, I'm happy with what he's doing. I'm happy. I feel satisfied. Even though the question was asked mischievously by Arise. No, with all due respect to you. And that's what we're saying in this country today. In this country, and that's how we keep journalism. That was the presidential media chat. Presidential media what? Chat.
It's because some other ministers
are envious. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Presidential media chat. So unfortunate. So unfortunate. A first class graduate, first class I hear, first class, will bring out a single minister. Not to say ask question. You say, look, land grabbing. First of all, accuse the minister of land grabbing. And that Mr. President, no, it is a political liability to your government. Controversial. Single out a minister. This is what we're talking about in Nigeria. To the glory of God, he was embarrassed. And after Mr. President answered, he couldn't answer the question again, he was embarrassed. Shamelessly. 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 And this is what we have been saying. Everybody has a role to play to make sure that we must not allow our personal interests to overshadow things. We should not.
All right, Your Excellency, just a moment, please. Just a moment, please.
No, I think you have somebody who's moderating this.
Yes. Honorable Minister, because we're going to be going on break very shortly in about 4 minutes, and I would like Gloria to ask that question.
Yes, just as the President is pleased with you, a certain group of people are not pleased with you, and these guys, they're workers, about 300 of them, like we understand. Yeah. And they call them waste management contractors under the Satellite Towns Development Department. Yes. So they said they're hinting about an imminent strike because of unpaid salaries in the last 6 months. Did you hear about this?
No, is it salaries or contracts? He said contractors. Is it salaries or contractors?
Did you hear about this?
No, hold on. Who appointed me?
Mr. President.
If Mr. President is happy with me, I'm satisfied. Because he knows what he wants you to do. Are you doing it? Yes. I'm not here for contractors.
So you don't care?
No, listen. How many of the satellite towns have you gone?
Virtually all of them.
No, tell me the ones you have gone.
Very well, almost all of them.
Listen, the point I don't like, I visit these areas. Go and see the refuse. They make deals with the coordinators. And I said, no, I went to Buhari today. And you write me that you're an indigenous contractor. I said, what did you work? Go and see the refuse on the road. I am not going to pay. I'm not, no amount of blackmail. I'm passing on the road, you see refuse, and then you come in a month, and you submit paper to pay money. Which refuse did you remove?
Well,
for Christ's sake.
They actually said that some of those...
Listen.
Yes.
We're not in our rise here. Listen. Listen. Now, what we're talking about, you see, that's why you must conduct yourself in a way that things should be done. Nobody, not anybody born, can intimidate me or blackmail me. I will do what is right. If you go into this way we do, where you can go and sit down with some civil servants and submit paper to pay money, when the job has not been done, go to, as we are going to Abuja now, I used to call the chairman of council. I said, come, Mr. Chairman, I'm passing here now. What's happening here? You refuse? Coordinator of the satellite town, I'm passing here now. See the refuse. And then you want me to pay. Pay what?
Now that still takes us back to my earlier question about your projections for them.
The point I'm trying to make is that people should know it cannot continue to be business as usual. You must put your feet down to say, listen, enough is enough.
They said that contract
enough. Somebody asked question. Enough is enough. Look, we have suffered so much. Look, I see contract, street light, this. You come every day, every month, money maintenance. I say maintenance of what? What are you maintaining? There's no light here passing this night. There's no light here passing the other day. What are you telling me about maintenance and paying money? We spend over 1 to 2 something billion naira in a month, and you cannot get the result, and then you want to bring blackmail. I will not fall to that.
All 300 of them?
No, but
what do you mean by 300 of them? Where? Okay, let me ask. 300 of who?
The contractors.
Contractor or satellite town?
Yes.
For 23 areas that were selected.
Do you know why some of you, and I urge you to do what they call investigative journalism. Can you go and see these sites or these zones that make 300? Can you please take, say for example, how many zones in Buhari, how many zones in Kuje, how many zones in Gwagwalada, how many zones in Abaji, how many zones in Kwali? Where in this? In the villages? Tell me, in the villages? What are we talking about?
Honorable Minister, we have to go on a quick break.
First of all, if you are going on the road, which is very important and key, when you cannot remove the refuse on the road, is it in the villages? You mean you are doing sanitation refuse in the villages? Who is cheating who? I, now that I'm the minister, anybody can come out tomorrow to play with that with them. I will not. It doesn't matter the blackmail. You must do the work. If you don't do the work, no payment.
Sir, can you hold your fire? Because we are going on a quick break. We'll be right back. You will still have the opportunity to,
No, I don't. We're not on fire. But the point is that Nigerians must know. To hear when you say 300 contractors, satellite towns, let us know where these zones are.
Okay, sir. We'll go on a break. We'll be right back. All right.
as I became governor. As I became an FCT minister. The CFOs that have been there 10 years, 13 years ago, not signed. And one of the mandates Mr. President said, look, you must create ease of doing business. Make it easy for people to be able to carry out their businesses. Having a CFO is something that will help you to improve in your businesses. Can be a collateral for you to access finance or finances, as the case may be. And when I came on board, how can you have this kind of backlog of CFOs not signed? That is killing businesses. That is making the economy not to thrive. And I said, look, no, it's not going to be done. In fact, the special advisor to Mr. President on policy, what's her name? Adiza. She called me and said, look, my brother, the assignments have not been done. CFOs, can you help to clear this? I said, just go home and sleep. You don't need to spend on that. It is my assignment. It is my job. It is what this administration should do to enable businesses to thrive. 2010 to 2015, under Bala, under Jonathan, they signed 5,000 or something.
For 5 years. 2015
to 2023, they signed about 3,000.
In 8 years.
Now in 2023 to 2024, to this January, we signed 7,000. Whose administration is making the business to be easy? 13 years. 13 years signed 7,000, 8,000. Less than 2 years signed 7,000. We look at performance only on one area. We don't look at holistically. Do you know the impact of that in terms of businesses? Do you know the impact of that? And I have said, and I've told last night, you know, there's a lot of conspiracy, sabotage in all this work. For somebody like me, it won't work. But once I identify you are not willing to work, you are doing something to sabotage, I kick you out of the place. Last night I took a decision to kick out 1 or 2 directors. They will hear it tomorrow. I don't give a damn. I don't care. The society, this country must move on. No one man can say he owns this country. Nobody. No one group can say they own this country than you. Nobody can say that. We all own this country. We all belong to this country. The moment I see that you don't want to work, I kick you out. Heaven will not fall. Even when heaven falls, everywhere will be at peace. So, now, what we are not doing, we are trying to say, this so-called right of O will no longer be there. You know what Nigerians do? They collect right of O. They go and look for what they will sell. The land.
Your Excellency.
You see, that's my words. Now you don't want Nigerians to get the benefit of this explanation now. Now, what was not also okay no more. That right of O will end. You want land? Yes. This is what you pay for the CFO. Go and pay for the CFO. You want 300 square meters? We agree. Go and pay social amount. So you won't have any opportunity again to carry it. And then we begin to go and advertise, go and pay for the CFO. No, we won't do that. You will not even have the asset to have that allocation. Enough is enough.
Gloria?
So let's delve into the politics in your state. Tensions.
Well, Your Excellency, still staying with the land.
Can we exhaust all
FCT?
issues related to the FCT?
Well, certainly, I have a question for you, Your Excellency. Still staying with the land issue in the FCT. Many people have cried out that Wike is, seizing their land. Yet here you are citing that you have signed over 7,000 CFOs in less than 2 years. What particularly would you say is driving this developmental force and this sort of whirlwind of change within the land situation in the FCT?
I'm hungry for development. Mr. President, hungry for development. Mr. President, hungry for the economy to thrive. Without this, how would businessmen have access to finances? How would they be able to embark upon one thing or the other? You are killing the economy, you are killing businesses. Therefore, how do we support businesses to thrive? Is to make sure that having access to finances is made possible. And how is it made possible? Sign the certificate of occupancy they will use as collateral to have access to funds.
Now, you mentioned something about, right of occupancy and, people trying to play cunningly around it. What do you have against it, Your Excellency?
Let me tell you, why should I, when you have right of occupancy is like an allocation that you have an allocated land, but they are not conferred full title on you. It's only when you have the CFO that you now have title. Now what they do, they use that right ROFO to go and begin to look for who will buy and denying us access of funds of paying for that CFO that we are supposed to now use for developmental purposes. Two, it's only when you have a CFO you can pay grand rent. Now when you don't have a CFO, you can't pay grand rent. So you are denying of the funds that we are supposed to use for development.
Your Excellency, sir,
you say you don't have question on
this question. You talked about you have
moderator. So
you were supposed to ask question on FCT. You said you didn't.
And we're talking of revenue. You spoke about 17 billion that you got from the federal government.
That was allocated.
Yes, 17 billion. But you didn't quite tell us about, how much you got in terms of IGR, which has, really helped to do some of these projects. That's one. When we had our second discussion or third discussion, we were talking about the huge amount of money, the funds you needed to, spend on salaries alone. At that time, it was about 9 billion plus. How much is it now? And how have you been able to have a wiggle room in terms of, in spite of this huge amount you pay on salaries, to be able to do your projects?
Sorry, sir, because we need also to discuss politics. Yeah. So, my colleague from PSN. No, you will answer it. Just keep it.
How will I remember? I'm on a computer.
We will remind you, sir.
Okay.
Well, you had your own question.
Okay, Your Excellency, sir. I remember the last time you went to commission the facility at the court. I think the Court of Appeal premises or so.
I've never gone to commission
I think the judges' quarters.
Flag off,
sorry. You emphasize that under your administration, you work to ensure that Abuja is at par with other cities around the world. Now, we are talking about security and revenue generation. Is the FCT powerless to stop these touts who harass citizens at various junctions within the city center under the guise of revenue collection, local government, FCTA? We want to know your thoughts on their activities and on the way to go.
All right. 2 questions. You start with
Can you repeat,
we're talking about revenue.
It's about revenue.
Revenues. In terms of your, internally generated revenue, you didn't quite give us the numbers from last year. You told us about 17 billion allocation you got from the federal government, but you didn't quite tell us what you were able to generate, internally to make you, able to do all these projects. That's one. and I spoke about the issues of salaries.
Okay. Let me take for the salaries. Before the new the increment on the salaries of workers at this were around 10 billion, 11 billion. But this increment were now at, almost at 13 billion. So we don't get
monthly, sir.
That's what I'm saying, but monthly, not daily. Salaries are paid monthly, not daily. So 13 billion. Now we don't get up to 13 billion from VAT and the 1% from the federal government. So you have to augment from the IGR to be able to pay the salary because of the new wages, right? You have talked about how much I've been able to raise. I thought that shouldn't be a problem. We have been able to raise quite, by the grace of God. As the time I came, we were generating about 9 billion, 10 billion. Today, by the grace of God, we are not generating less than 25 billion a month. It is because of our aggressive revenue drive. We're generating not 9, 10 billion. Today, we're not generating less than 25 billion. In fact, last month, we were able to generate about 40-something billion. 40-something billion. Aggressive revenue drive to be able to carry out this infrastructure. The money this revolution of the development infrastructure is not from my blood. It must be from taxes. And when taxes are not paid, how do you get development? And the one thing Nigerians, residents of Abuja will say, if we are paying tax, are we seeing what the money is being used for? That's one question we should ask ourselves as taxpayers. This time I should pay my ground rent, I'm paying. This time I should pay for my CFO, I'm paying. Am I seeing anything to justify? In your conscience, can you say that FCT is justifying the revenue or the taxes that we are paying? Yes. Yes, it's correct. They are. We can beat our chests and say, yes, it's correct. We're doing that. But it's not enough. Every day, this person calls you, I live at Lokoguma. This person calls, I live at Kashi. I live at so place. The road is not tight. I say, fine. How do we tie it? Oh. Help us. You are the Messiah of our time. I say, I agree. Which Messiah? To which money? Pay the tax you say you should pay. Problem. Let me tell you. When we calculated monies owed by people, I'm not talking about grand rent. I'm not talking about grand rent. I'm talking about people who have not paid for CFO. The RFO they have to enable them pay for CFO. Over 300 billion naira. If we see 300 billion naira today, you go to America, go to London and come back in 6 months, you see that FCT is a different total place. You will appreciate what has been done. I'm telling you, this is money to pay for CFO of the land you asked for and government gave you. I'm going to go and pay. I'm sorry to see the language I used, to tell her how it is. I said, I did not look at the language I used. Nobody will pay. And you carry all kinds of propaganda. And you say, go and pay for this. If you don't pay for this, we will withdraw it. It becomes a crime. It becomes blackmail, propaganda. He's trying to take our land. How many lands can you take? I did not give this. 10 years ago, 9 years ago, 15 years ago, government gave you this. You cannot go and pay for this. What kind of country are we in? What kind of country are we in? You say, you would do Bengas, for example, Bengas Arofo. So,
I'll go to court straight.
Most of them arrange, they go and find action in court, and let's keep it there. He will soon leave as the minister. That is the country you are in. People don't want anything to work well. And you are putting everything you can do that no, it must work well. People are sitting there saying it will not work well. Now, for your own question,
yes, sir.
No, what the central news, you asked about...
I asked about the insecurity problem posed by this so-called...
I also put it to you. Why do we always talk about insecurity? As if there's anywhere in this country, in this world, where it's crime-free. Why don't you say you are doing well by reducing the level of insecurity? We don't get of any commendation. Every day you hear, oh, this tout, this, that.
No, honorable.
No, I'm coming. All over the world. Look at Donald Trump, presidential candidate before he became president-elect. Look at what happened to him. 2 times. If it was in Nigeria, you would have condemned the entire security. They don't know anything they are doing. But look how sophisticated as they are. See what happened. Now, we agree about these touts. Nobody will tell you you cannot get one crime or the other. But what was is the prevalence. And that's why we are saying, okay, by the time we finish the bus terminals and the rest of it, take for example, you can't go on the road to begin to look to people to collect money for you. If you do that, you know what you are looking for. Every loading will be on the bus and taxi at terminals. Even in that, you cannot say you will see one form of crime or the other. That's why we are human. There are people, why not ask yourself, you are doing road, good road. Somebody sleeping in the night, thinking, how you going to remove the manhole to cause accident for people to die. Somebody somewhere waiting for him to bring the manhole, for him to buy, to also sell to company that need the manhole for construction of road. Don't you ask yourself that? The security agencies should be commended for what they are doing. The point I'm saying, we are doing, the point I'm saying that security is a daily thing. They will continue to rate them. They continue to make sure they don't allow them any space. But the point is that you must acknowledge the fact that they are doing what they are supposed to do. They have not achieved it 100%. And it will be difficult for anybody to tell you it will 100%.
Honorable Minister, we promise to spend time on politics. Guys, it's time for politics now. Hold your fire, please. I know you've been itching for all of that. But let's be a little bit orderly. We'll start like that, come like this. So, Gloria, fire.
All right, Your Excellency. So tensions between you and Governor Fubara, has been escalating, and the what has been escalating.
The what? I mean, the what and what?
The tensions.
Which tension?
That's what we see, and so it appears.
Or what you think?
So you're going to give us your views on that, and so we're wondering, why does this conflict appear very difficult to resolve?
I'm very surprised. What is difficult to resolve? Mr. President, the sovereign of our nation, in his own wisdom, in his own fatherly way, say, look, you come, you sit down. This is the problem. I want this problem to be resolved. You go, we'll do an impeachment notice. You go, do this. You go, do this. You go, do this. You, elder, read it for everybody here. Elder, read it. Do we all agree with it? Yes. Elder, what about you? Yes. We agreed. Fine. The parties went home. The assembly withdrew the impeachment notice. You now do this, do this. You did one, you did two. Then you send people to go to court to hang the other one to say, oh, people went to court. Elder, have you gone back to Mr. President? This assignment you gave, we have done 1, we have done 2. We're not able to do 3 and 4. Please, Mr. President, can you call us back? See whether we can find a solution to 3 and 4. Since 1 and 2 have been executed. Nothing. Nothing. The next thing you see, oh, somebody did this, somebody did that. Mr. President, in his wisdom, Mr. President, you know, sometimes when people play politics, you play politics, President says, you come, you come, you come. You were hearing when they were saying, President, or they were political, was not constitutional. I have never seen that happen in my life. A president of a country will call people, sit them down, do this. One party goes, it's political, it's not binding, it's not constitutional. Come on, who does that? Who does that? Who does that? And then you people are talking about conflict, tension, this and that. You went and you seized assembly people money, their salaries, everything, took it. And you are running with 3-member assembly in Nigeria. All of you, journalists, appearing in your television houses, appearing, justifying.
Including the court.
No, listen, never. You know, I have always told people, it's not Wike, it's not about Wike or who. It's not about me. But how you would tell me in a democracy, it's only in Nigeria. Okay, take it for example. You say those 27 people defected. Assuming, don't know conceding. You sit down, tell me, 1 person is a speaker, 2 are members, are the ones doing law for a state. And everybody sit down discussing, hey, you know, but they defected. It is, you know, I said, look, it's not my business. It's Nigerian democracy. Tomorrow it will be 1 person. Tomorrow it will be 1. So the issue of tension, it does not exist. The tension being created by you people who have refused because of their interest, because of their commitment. Take for example, I say without no apologies to anybody. Without no apologies to anybody. When I see what happens, how media will be scrolling in the bar, tarnishing images of judges, that judges collected bribe. Scrolling, even somebody gives you that news item. Assuming somebody pays you for that. Can you do that in a civilized country? In a civilized country. But it is what is being discussed. You malign, you damage. I'm happy. The day the court gives them judgment, democracy, rule of law. The day the court does not give them judgment, the judges took bribe. Arise will be, it will be the first morning they will discuss it. And that is where we are in this country. That's where we are. Yeah. Because do you think it's wicked? Oh, I don't like wicked. It's not about wicked. It's about the country we are talking about.
Your Excellency, just to take off from there.
Yes.
It seems that, you know, your interest politically are a little bit interesting really now, because even your party has 2 people claiming to be national secretary.
Yes.
At the state level, we have 2 ESCOs carrying the banner of ESCOs as well. Are you now taking this, as you said, it's the don't look approach?
It's the same people. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. You know, when I tell people, tomorrow they blame the judiciary. Tomorrow PDP will blame the judiciary. You cannot keep your house in order. Tomorrow you go and find some media houses to say this. See how the costs are interfering. What is the problem? What is the problem? It's unfortunate they have a man, they say is a former Senate President Wabara. So unfortunate, so unfortunate. If that man was my father, I would disown him. If he was my father, or he was related, I would have disowned him. He doesn't qualify to be. No wonder Mr. President Obasanjo made a presidential broadcast. It was under his tenure. Obasanjo made a broadcast about corruption. Presidential broadcast. That's the man leading PDP Board of Trustees. This is a man who led people, came to this is my residence. Beauty. How they want to reconcile matters. They went back to a state high court without suing INEC. INEC is a necessary party. INEC was one who observed the election. The National Convention. You went to a state high court and sued that the National Secretary ought to have resigned. What is the provision of the constitution of the party? What did the constitution say? Assuming donor conceding that is supposed to resign, he has to be replaced by election, not by appointment. Assuming donor conceding, he was elected, he was not appointed, he was elected in convention. And then you say, oh, he's no longer there. That the Southeast should bring another person. Even if Southeast will bring, will it not be by election to replace him? Will you go and bring someone and say, we have brought this person in your house, come and replace him? But that's not the point. They want an appeal. Appeal gave judgment 2-1. They filed for a stay of execution. Some governors, in their own wisdom, manipulated. No, they should not, that since, yes, a stay of execution has been filed, but it has not been granted, so let him go, let another person be. The same people, the zonal vice chairman of Southeast was removed by court. Ali Odefa, the zonal vice chairman from the Southeast, was removed from court. There have not been any appeal. None have been any stay of execution. They did not even say, okay, let's implement that. That one should not be implemented. The one that should be implemented is one national secretary. Unfortunately, there was an interim order of staying down. But apart from that, there was a judgment of the Federal High Court, which INEC was a party to, saying that this is the national secretary of the party. This boy, whom they now want him to be national secretary, applied to be joined in that suit. The court dismissed his application. He did not appeal against it. PDP did not appeal against that judgment up to today. You know, when you shoot yourself, these are they dig their grave, and they will enter in that grave. They say, oh, the court is doing this. You are the one digging your grave. The convention is coming this December. As right-thinking people who want their party to survive, will you not say, gentlemen, what are we really doing? The convention is December. What are we talking about? Why can't we keep our house and do this convention by December and usher in a new executive? What do they want to do? Oh, no, that's when they remove Wike. None of them has what it takes. They don't have what it takes at all, not one. Be it the Board of Trustees, be it whatever governor you think you are. I am prepared for it. It's not a new thing. It's not a new thing for me. This is my territory. No. I've never survived without any reason. How can you see people do things? You say you love your party, and instead of you to do the right thing for your party to survive, rather you're causing more crisis in your party. Convention is December. You want to remove the national chairman. The court has given a pronouncement. Court said no. You cannot. It will be by convention that you can remove or bring any chairman. He said no. But it is zoned from it is coming from North Central. We never zoned to North Central. The zoning was North and South. But I assuming they're not conceding that North Central. You cannot bring an appointed chairman to oversee NWC that's elected. You cannot do that. You know, they say that all their problem is, oh, wicked. Look, anybody who knows me know. I have never, when I said I was not going to support their presidential candidate, I never hid it. I said I was not going to support, and I will not support. Up to today, I stand by it.
Your Excellency, let's take you back to Rivers State.
Yes.
When you were answering the question with regards to Rivers State, you sort of spoke in parables that not many people would understand.
Yes.
Now, in Rivers State, the state's exco, the state party exco, the one that many people believe is loyal to you, has been sacked by the court.
By which court?
Now, many people believe that the argument here, Your Excellency, is that you are slowly, not my words now, but the general notion, slowly losing political grip with regards to the PDP in your state.
That is the television you watch. It's not what we're talking about on ground. Let me tell you. You know, I've always said I don't want to talk about judiciary. It's unfortunate you have tried to push me now to talk about state judiciary.
Carry on, Your Excellency.
The Federal High Court gave a nod for the election to take place, which INEC was a party. And directed police, they shall allow the Congress, and they took place. Now let me tell you, it's unfortunate I will say this. Who is this judge that's granting these orders? State High Court judge every day. Who is this judge? You know, I feel so bad. This was a judge I refused that when NJS recommended I will not be sworn in. Why? When the State High Court was locked up by my predecessor, this judge was the Deputy Chief Registrar of the Customary Court of Appeal, Stephen Jumbo. You remember that NJS recommended Justice Desi Okocha to be the Chief Judge of Rivers State. My predecessor refused and appointed the President of Customary Court of Appeal, Justice Agumabo, to be the Chief Judge. And NJC sanctioned him, suspended. How can you do that? Now, during that period, they used this Deputy Chief Registrar, who is now the judge, Stephen Jumbo, siphoned the funds of the judiciary when the judiciary was locked up under lock and key. I came as governor. Justice Desi Okocha became the chief judge. And we saw how monies were being shared. They divided the judges. These judges are loyal. These judges are not loyal. They were paying allowances to these judges. And they are not paying to these judges. And as they said, no, I will not allow this. I'm going to write to NJS who cannot allow this. Justice Desi Okocha pleaded, please, allow, please, just let it. You know, sometimes you feel so bad. Pleaded. Say, please, I don't want this mess. When I see people talk, I just look at it. Now, when Desi Okocha left, Justice Lomekron became. And I said, my Lord, can we allow this? He said, Your Excellency, I know it's wrong, but you see, let everybody. JSC indicted this judge, Justice Jumbo, of look at the funds of the court. When the court was not in session, who was spending this money? When the court was left for 2 years. Who was authorizing you? There was no chief judge. So who was authorizing you to be spending this amount of money? I wrote to the Indians. I said, no, that's kind of thing. And then they said, you know what happened? This young man went to court. He lost. He went to court of appeal. And then I left office. What the present chief judge did, they now went back to say the state was not opposing the appeal. And they say, oh, the man has won court of appeal. And then they now went and swore them in. Now what they now do, every political case, they now assign it to him. Then he will be ditching out others. As far as Wike is on this side, he will dish out others. Now, that's why he gave an injunction for people not to do Congress. It's on appeal. They went back again and filed this order. Meanwhile, people are fighting in his court. He gave order that should be Congress, which we have gone on appeal. People again came back to him to find that they were the ones who are supposed to be. You know what they did? They did not join. Of course, INEC was not. They did not join INEC. They did also join those who were elected for them to be able to defend themselves. They did not join them. They now said PDP. Now, what they did criminally, to align themselves with the legal advisor of the party at the national level, who now took the processes without telling the party. And then they now went to the State High Court and agreed with the plaintiffs. And they now entered judgment. Look, you just laugh. We have been writing the judge. Give us the judgment. No problem. Let us have the proceedings. No problem. You know the final court, there's an appeal court, there's Supreme Court. No problem. Give us. No problem. You've done your own part. Every time, every day, you will see one State High Court. Look at another one. A matter the Court of Appeal gave that 3 people cannot sit to make law, appropriation budget. They appealed to Supreme Court. A State High Court recently by Justice Apirioku said no. 3 people can. 3 people can pass a budget, make law for the state. When the matter the Court of Appeal has given and they have appealed to Supreme Court, Justice Apirioku of the State High Court, why did he do so? A building collapsed when I was governor. His brother was the man in charge. Somebody died. And I said should be dismissed. Yes. Now, for him, Wike dismissed his brother who was a civil servant. Therefore, anything that causes Wike is involved, I will do this. How can a judge of the State High Court, when the Court of Appeal has given a judgment, which they have appealed to Supreme Court, now sit down to say that the state, the government can deal with 3 people?
Yes, there are more questions.
State judiciary. Yeah. But at the end of the day, everybody will see. For me, go ahead, do whatever you want to do. But as far as you're not the final court that will determine. I have no problem.
There are more questions. Sample?
All right. Excellency, we must thank you so much for taking time to exhaust this, because a lot of Nigerians have been waiting for that. Just very 2 quick questions, one at the national level and then one at the local level. You are the poster boy of the APC-led federal government at the moment now.
No, we draw that poster boy.
Well, I mean, we receive...
I will always want you, please, we're having a media
chat. Yes.
Use a language that
okay.
appropriate for
so I want you to talk to me as having come from the opposition. What's the problem with the PDP and opposition parties, political parties in Nigeria as regards our democratic growth and development at the moment? And then the second question is, I'm seeing some sort of subtle politics in FCT when it comes to Area Council with the issues of revenue collection. FCT IRS has said that in 2025, they are going to be collecting revenues for FCT area councils. But some of the local councils are not comfortable with that, saying that, PDP, APC, and all of that, they are having challenges.
Aside from that,
what do you have to say?
You are talking about harmonization and not allow multiplicity of taxes. Okay. Why not allow businessmen to suffer? What are the taxes collectible by the local government? What are the taxes collectible by the FCT? Remember, every month we give to area councils 10% of every tax we collect. Every month. As the month ends, if we have 40 billion, for example, 10% goes to the area councils.
All 6.
10% goes to the area councils. So 10% of 40 billion, for example, is 4 billion. They share. Then again, we are seeing a lot of things that we take. For example, you are talking about refuse removal. You want to go and collect sanitation, but you are not removing the refuse. So we said no, we can't allow this. Therefore, we'll collect it. We'll give a percentage, but you are not the one who is paying for the refuse. We are paying for the refuse. We are cleaning. You cannot be going to collect money. It's your duty now to also remove the refuse. But you have no capacity. So let's sit down and see how much percentage you will collect. If we don't do what we are doing, businessmen will suffer. Okay. That is that part. On the opposition, now ask yourself, opposition, are they really opposition that they should do the work of opposition? Take, for example, look at PDP. Now, Otto, let me tell you. You see Bala Mohammed shouting. Is Bala doing opposition? He's not. He knows he's not. Bala is merely saying, look, I was the one who was criticizing Tinubu's tax, this and that. It's not correct. It's not criticizing. He wants to see how he can have delivered to have tickets for PDP.
Question close up.
To run for election.
My question close up.
Everybody knows that. Look, do you know what's called opposition? When I was governor, could you not feel the impact of opposition in this country? Could you not feel the impact of opposition? I don't do opposition in the daytime and go in the night. I don't do that. Okay. And I wouldn't do that.
Right. So the PDP is not playing opposition. That's
look, the point I'm making is that for you to say you're playing opposition, you must strengthen your party. Okay. You must strengthen the National Working Committee. Okay. Not dividing them. Okay. Now see what they are doing. You are dividing the National Working Committee. Okay. The National Political Sense was something, which is not true. Right. And then people are saying different things. Okay. How do you then say you are playing opposition? Okay.
So the PDP is not ready for opposition.
Just for your own personal interest.
Okay, Your Excellency, I will just ask one from Rivers State, one from the national, PDP national. Everybody knows the relationship between you and the former governor of Rivers State, Peter Odili. When you were governor, everybody believed that you were very close. Recently, he made some remarks about you, which those who have watched this relationship believe that they were uncharitable. Is there any room for reconciliation between you and that former governor? Okay. Then secondly, the PDP is about 2 years to the general elections, and everybody expects the PDP to be a formidable opposition. You have invested, no. You have invested in that party. Do you think the PDP can get its acts together before 2027?
Ask Bala Mohammed. Let me tell you. Ask Bala.
We don't want you to waste too much time.
Let me ask Bala Mohammed. When I was governor, I played a role for PDP to take over the presidency of this country. And Nigerians could attest to that. I played a role. Until when they brought, thinking that they are smarter than people, they played the game they wanted to play, to take everything. I said it will choke you. And it choked them. And it will continue to choke them. If, you see, I'm a footballer, we are going for this match, and I want to win this trophy. I have to sit back. I'll call my colleagues, my team players, gentlemen, are we really ready to win this match? Can we commit ourselves? We want to win this match. We want to win this trophy. Yes. How do we do it? How do we do it? We should not be selfish. When we are playing, it is not about you scoring the goal. Anybody can score goal. What matters at the end of the day is that we have won the match. If we say you, we lose, then everybody have lost. 2, play all you can. Have it at the back of your mind that we are one people. We are one club. As it is today, all you have is pocket of interest. And what's that pocket of interest? Sitting somewhere, we will deal with Wike. Who is this that will deal with Wike? Who? You know, instead of you to be focused, how do we win this? You go to a meeting, it's Wike. You go and take your bath, it's Wike. You don't eat food in your house, it's Wike. Your wife has left you, it's Wike. I mean, it's madness. Instead of you to think of, how do I progress? How do I make my party to win election? If Wike is the problem, call that Wike. Sit down with Wike. What is this problem? What is happening? Can't we sit down as a people to see that our party emerges? Okay. You say Wike is not important. Do it now. Do it and survive it.
Oh. Okay, Your Excellency, we have room for just about one question. Let me ask that last question. Let me ask that last question. Okay, the last question about
room for reconciliation.
The last question about any room for reconciliation.
That matter, I don't want to discuss about that matter again.
Okay.
It's over. It's over. God is one who allows us to live. Okay. If God says I'll survive till tomorrow, I'll survive. If God says I won't survive, let it be so.
All right. So last question then. You have always claimed to be an Ikwere man.
Yes.
And that you are not an Igbo man.
Yes.
An Ikwere man.
Yes.
Like you.
Yes.
A well-recognized one. Former Senate President pro tempore.
Yes.
The distinguished Senator John Asuta-Ambata has just been elected as the president of Ohanese Indigo.
Yes.
A pan-Igbo social-cultural organization.
Yes.
Has that made you to be an Igbo man? Or every Ikwere man?
No, don't go there, no. I'm a typical unrepresentable Igbo man, Ikwere man. I'm not an Igbo. Listen, get it clear. I have no problem with Igbo people, and I have not had a problem with them. I've associated with Igbo people. The mere fact, we're all in southeastern Nigeria. The mere fact we're in northern Nigeria doesn't make you an Hausa man. Doesn't make you a Fulani man. Doesn't make you a Kanuri person. Doesn't make you not a thief person. The mere fact that you share some similarities, the languages are close, doesn't make you that you are sorry for. I mean, what is all these things? Senator Asuta-Ambata has a right to associate with whoever I want to associate. I, as Nyesom Wike, an unrepentable Ikwere man, an unrepentable Igbo man, I'm not an Igbo man.
Okay, but are you happy that an Ikwere man
want to say
is Ohanese president?
Please, I'm not a member of Ohanese. So what I'm not a member, how can you tell me? I don't know what they're doing there.
He's a kinsman.
But by default now, your kinsman is the chairman.
What benefit will I derive? Something I'm not a member of. You know what is there. You know why you are there. You know the benefit that will accrue to you. So, if it's going to be good, okay. But as Obajikwere, they have spoken. And Obajikwere have said, count us out. And where Obajikwere is where I am. I will never, for anything, no matter the disadvantage. Some of my fellow colleagues come to tell me, don't talk on this, I say, don't talk on what, you know, by your position. I say, So, because of politics, I will deny my identity. Because I'm from a minority, I will not do that one. I will never deny my identity simply because I want to be recognized, to be majority. I will not do it.
Are you happy for him?
If he's happy, why would I say I'm not happy for him? I mean, why would I say so? If that will suit you, okay. But for me, as the honorable man, as a very person, I am where I am, and I will not be. Igbos we are very close. We do things together. We have similarities in so many things. But that does not mean I should go and change my identity now. Simply because he said I should be. Simply because I'm a politician. Oh, somebody told me yesterday, you know, you may want to president this country. I said, okay, get out from here. Get out. I want the president. So what? That's why I should go and answer somebody's mother's name. I'm not.
All right, Honorable Minister, we have come to the end of today's media chat. Thank you so much. But I'll allow my colleagues to quickly maybe make their final comments. Example, no question, just final comment.
All right, Honorable Minister, we want to really thank you for what you've done. As an indigene of the FCT, I'm really super proud that we've had the minister for the very first time that actually makes a difference. And so we just urge you to...
You're from FCT?
Yeah, I'm an FCT.
You've not thanked me since.
New Central. So keep doing the good job, actually.
It's been a delight, Honorable Minister. Anytime we sit in front of you, the questions and the answers just keeps on flowing. Thank you,
Honorable Minister.
And of course, Gloria.
Well, we thank you, Your Excellency, for your insights. We only hope that you're making steps, you know, to try to bridge the gaps in your party, PDP.
Yeah, we are looking forward to some commissioning this week. You have started well.
You're all invited.
Yes, and we hope also you end the year well.
Okay.
Honorable Minister, we must thank you so much. It's been a pleasure and a very deliberative session.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Honorable Minister, thank you for allowing us to invade this very beautiful complex. This is the official seat of this is the official residence.
It has never been like this before.
We don't know. Thank you for allowing us to be part of your. Thank you so much, sir. We appreciate it. And we look forward to the next edition.
Thank you.
That's media chat with the FCT Minister, His Excellency Nyesom Wike, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory. Thank you for investing your time with us. We appreciate it. We'll see you another time.